community in this area and add some more amenities. So we are doing neighborhood revitalization. So this is a great example. This neighborhood's about 20 years old and it's in pretty good condition. And then we're going to do some more work over the next few years in this community as a focus. We have served about 1,400, we have built about 1,400 homes, served about 5,500 families and the family members. And one of our goals is to make sure we empower people to have home ownership as a pathway to move up and to do great things. So we have a lot of new programs coming out that are going to look at how do we invest more in our families and more in our communities, because we want to see the neighborhoods change. And this is a great example of an investment in a neighborhood, and you can see that change in all around this area. So our program, with your resources and your help, you allow us to provide a zero interest loan to our home buyers, and that means their mortgage is about $550 to $650, which is very affordable, and it allows them to work. They do a lot to get to this place and work with us to be responsible. And one thing I like to share with you is we have a great success rate. For our home ownership, we have about 96% success of people staying current with their mortgages. And last year we had 21 people pay off their mortgages. So this is a long-term program and investment. We're really excited about that. With that, I wanted to just thank Irene, our house leader. There she is. Congratulations. And our staff. We have some staff here. We have a lot of staff that are also behind the scenes that work. And so we always want to acknowledge the work that folks that are here, and even on your teams, the folks that were here on other days. And then thank and congratulate Ricky Walker. And also want to introduce Daryl Hicks, who's probably no stranger to AGL. He's our board vice chair, and he's going to help us carry on the ceremony today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Good afternoon, everybody. It is absolutely a joy to be here. You know, back in 2001, I was working at AGL, and for my AGL family, I worked there for 20 years before I left to pursue other opportunities. But back in 2001, the then CEO, Paula Rosca, came to me and said, hey, look, what do you think about Habitat? I know you serve on the board. What do you think about our organization getting involved? And she made a commitment to build 5 houses in 5 years. And here we are today, and you'll hear a little bit later that it's been a little bit longer than 5 years that AGL has built. And we started that partnership with Equifax. So it's been a really wonderful relationship with Equifax. I've been on the board for a long time, and one of the things that I appreciate the most are the dedications, the opportunity to come out and experience when someone gets their home for the very first time. I have my childhood friend here with me, Curtis Lockett, who we grew up in Reynolds, Georgia, and he would attest to you that if he had Atlanta Habitat or a Habitat organization in Reynolds, Georgia, it would have been just the best home in the neighborhood. So we came from an environment that was no different than what many of our homeowners are coming from. And so it gives me great joy to be a part of this. I'd like to bring up our family here and let you get a chance to meet them. You know, we could not do this without the hard-working members that are out here today, but most importantly, for us to have an opportunity to bring new people into the fold of Atlanta Habitat and expand our family. And as Lisa said, this neighborhood is an example of what we've done over a 20-year period, and now Ricky and his family will be a part of that and help for the next 20 years. But it is absolutely my honor to introduce to you, many of you, you've known him, you've been out here for the last 7 weeks, and you know him, and you talk with him. But Ricky is employed by UPS, right? Been employed by UPS, and you know, his story is that he wants a home where he can raise his daughter, Leah Ann, and have his family members come over. And he's actually now becoming a second generation of Atlanta Habitat, because his mother and father have a Atlanta Habitat home, so a second generation of it. But he wants an opportunity. And what we do as an organization is we give people an opportunity, not a handout, but a hand up. We help them take advantage of hard work in order to get a house and become a house owner. And so with that said, I'm going to let Ricky introduce his family. But right before he introduces his family, one of the things that we do, and we do this on every single home, we provide the family with a Bible. It is the foundation in which we stand on. And we want to give Ricky you this Bible and say welcome to the Atlanta Habitat family. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for coming out and volunteering. It wouldn't be possible without you all to help build this home for myself and my daughter. First, I would like to introduce my mother, Belinda Cody. She's a Habitat owner. My father, Ricky Walker Sr., and my niece and nephew, my oldest niece, Somalia, and my oldest nephew, Sam. I would like to say that it feels good to finally move out my parents' house by the age of 30. My 30th birthday will be July. My 30th birthday will be July the 7th, so and I move in a week afterwards. So I'm glad I'll be 30 finally. And my daughter will be 6. Her birthday is in 2 weeks. Well, 1 week. So she'll be 6. So.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate that. You know, we cannot do this without the sponsors. And as I talked a little bit about AGL and my relationship there in the 27 years, in Equifax, started in 2001, the relationship that AGL and Equifax started together. I am grateful, and the whole organization of Atlanta Habitat is very grateful for sponsors. Just cannot do it without sponsors. They put a stake in the ground and say that this is what we're committed to, and we want to be a part of improving not just the homeowner who comes into this house, but generations to come. 20 years an example here. So with that said, I want to bring up Brian Bassett, who's the president of Atlanta Gaslight. AGL Resources started back in 2001, and this is their 27th home. Brian, thank you so much to you and AGL for what you've done. I appreciate it very much. Let me, I'm going to give you this plaque here. You can add it to the 27 that you have, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you on behalf of Atlanta Gaslight, all the folks out there and the families that are out there with our families. Ricky, you and your family, first and foremost, every homeowner needs Home Depot gift certificates. So there's $500 if you'll spend it real quick. You'll find out every trip to Home Depot is $100. So once you've gone 5 times, it will go quickly. But just say thanks to everybody. Atlanta Gaslight has been part of Atlanta and Georgia since 1856. I was not there then when it started. I have been there a little over 32 years, so I've been there a while. But we love seeing families get together, work, put things together, and it's just good for us. It's good. You don't really realize how good it is for us. We meet people that we work with that we didn't even know, and we spend the day with them, and we hit them on the finger with a hammer a little bit, and get to know each other, and we just appreciate being part of it. And 27 years and 27 houses is a lot, and I hope I'm here for the 45th house in a few more years. Everybody should know, and you may know, but Atlanta Gaslight will soon, and probably within the next month, be part of the Southern Company, and Georgia will own one of the absolute finest, strongest energy companies in the United States. And that's good for Georgia, and that's good for Atlanta, and that's good for the homeowners. You'll have choices, and we appreciate it. So thank you for having us. Thank you. Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you, Brian. Next, I want to have Dan come up with Equifax. And as I said, we started this relationship back in 2001 with Equifax. But Equifax has been building since 1992, and this is their 27th home. Dan, thank you so much for everything that Equifax does and continues to do. And I'd like to present you with your 27th plaque. Thank you.
Great, thanks a lot. So I'm not the president of Equifax, so I may not be quite as eloquent. But yeah, we're really excited to be here for the 27th build for Equifax. I have to say, so we got you 5 more trips, Rick, to Home Depot. So he's absolutely right. I think it was maybe a month or 2 into owning my first house that I realized every trip to Home Depot, it's never less than $100. It can be more than $100. They won't stop charging you at $100. But the other thing is, I know you're excited to get out of your parents' house, but I'll just remind you, you know, there's not a weekend that goes by as a homeowner that you're not pulling a weed or mowing some grass or painting. But it's great, and you're going to make a lot of great memories here with your daughter and your family. So I feel very fortunate to be part of a company that sponsors this. I know everybody that's out here got a lot out of being with you and helping to build this. And so, you know, I think that's the biggest thing, and I feel fortunate to be a little bit part of your memories as well here. So I have one last thing for you, which is since you are getting your first mortgage, and Equifax is a company all about financial empowerment and financial education, there's a certificate in here for a year's worth of credit monitoring and credit products at Equifax. So there's a code in here you can use on our website. And so that can get you started on your financial education and managing your credit, making sure no one steals your credit. So that'd be part of that. So I think on behalf of all of Equifax, and certainly all the people here in part of this build, we're really glad to be part of this with you and be part of getting your house off the ground here. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan. And what I did not say is Dan is the Vice President of Data and Analytics at Equifax. Now I'd like to bring up our champion here who helped orchestrate this, the project manager, the house leader, Irene, come forward. And let me just say, as she's coming forward, I appreciate everything all the volunteers have done. Irene, thank you so much.
Good afternoon again. I'll start by thanking all the volunteers. We've been out here for the last 7 weeks. Some of you have been coming back. Some of you, today was your first day out here. We definitely cannot do this without all of you taking time to be with us. To Equifax and Atlanta Gaslight, thank you for your sponsorship. It goes a long way to make our program run and keep it moving. We look forward to working with you again next year and years to come. I always want to appreciate all the people who work behind the scene. We don't get to see all the folks who make sure that food gets here and all the t-shirts are here and all that good stuff. They might not come out here, but they do work in the background, so make sure to let them know that we appreciate all that they did. I stand here not by myself. I do have a lot of folks who work with me, whether it's in the warehouse, construction department, and the whole organization as a whole. I represent just one part of that, so I thank them for all their help and making it possible for me to do what I need to do. We also have skills supervisors for the folks who came out during the week, day 1 through 5. They are volunteers just like yourselves. They come out and help supervise certain tasks. I do appreciate them. We had master gardeners that came out and worked with us today. So all those folks make all this happen. So I stand here as one, as sort of the eyes for the overall project, but we have a lot of people in the background working with us. For home buyer Rick, it's been a pleasure working with him. I finally get to see the beautiful daughter and show her her room. But the whole family has been here supporting him and making sure he's on the straight and narrow. So I am loving that he has all the support to get him started and keep him moving. Also, since we've gone through this project with him every single day, and he's had the chance to work with a lot of tools, and I've made sure he's done that. So right here, we have a toolbox here that will get him started, and that will also allow him not to call me anytime anything goes wrong. But it's been a pleasure working with you, and I wish you the very best and say welcome home.
Thank you, Irene. So we're about to conclude here, and I just want to reiterate what I already said. You know, the volunteers, we just cannot do it without your help. Thank you so very much for all that you do each and every day. Now, I'm being told, Sarah, if I'm right, that we want everybody who worked on the bill to come up and gather around the porch so they can take a picture of everybody. So if you want pictures down here? You tell me where you want me to go, and I'll go.